Good afternoon. I'm meteorologist Kaitlyn McGrath bringing you a forecast update on this Weather Watch Alert Day. We are continuing to see storms develop across parts of our region. Now, right now, most of the activity well off to the west of the DMV, but where we're seeing these storms develop, they are becoming strong and in some instances severe. So we'll put the pause here on that 3-hour loop, zoom into Allegheny County, where we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for part of Allegheny County. But the good news is this storm is weakening. It briefly likely produced some small hail. Haven't seen any official reports quite yet, but right now you can actually see the strongest part of this storm actually just off to the west of the warning. The warning, of course, is that yellow box with some heavier rain, thunder and lightning just off to the west of it. You can see some spotty downpours down into Berkeley Springs and Hancock as well. All of these storms are moving relatively slowly off to the north and east, around 10 miles per hour. So as a result, we've already seen one flash flood warning issued down into parts of Madison County, Virginia, so out of our area. But it does give us the idea that where these storms are developing and producing a lot of locally heavy rain, we can expect some isolated flooding as we head throughout the afternoon and into the evening. The strongest part of this storm just to the north of Pumpkin Center, Rush and Twigtown, really just off to the west of that warning box. We also have a punchier storm about to work its way into northern Virginia, moving through parts of Baker, down into parts of Matthias, moving off to the north and east, again around 10 miles per hour. That would put it into the Rock Enon Springs area around 3:15, Wild Acres closer to 4:44. These storms again moving incredibly slowly. Bunker Hills Elementary School, if this holds together, it would be in that area just after 5 o'clock this evening, and Mountain Falls closer to 5:15. Another weakening storm right now over Amosville, still producing some moderate rain, some thunder and lightning, bringing some heavier rain up into parts of Marshall as well. But the trend that we're seeing is as these storms are moving to the north and east, given their slow forward motion, they're kind of working themselves out. So they're weakening as they try and push off to the north and east. So we're going to hope that continues to be the case as we head throughout the evening. But I do still think we'll see a few more stronger storms and possibly a few severe storms as well. As these storms become severe, they're doing so for small hail and some gusty wind. This storm, if it holds together, would end up in Dundee around 3:38, the Plains around 4 p.m., Broad Run closer to 4:30, and Haymarket at 5:23. Again, that's assuming these storms will hold together. We'll take you hour by hour through Futurecast, though. Keep in mind, it's just one computer model. It's not showing exactly where the storms will be. I just like the idea that it keeps storms in the forecast here for the next several hours. This is right around 4 o'clock. Storms becoming a little bit more widespread, but still for the most part just producing rain. Locally heavy rain at times, likely a few stronger wind gusts at times, but I really don't think we have a whole lot of support for strong and severe storms today. There's just really no forcing, nothing to really fire these storms up. There's plenty of instability and plenty of moisture in the atmosphere. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. But unlike tomorrow, when we have a cold front pushing through to trigger some storms, there's really not a whole lot going on today. But once we start to see the sea breeze move in or the bay breeze move in off the bay later this evening, that could help fire off a few more storms later tonight. This is 6 p.m. We'll still be watching for some of these scattered strong and possibly severe storms through about dinner time. And then once we lose the heating of the day after 8:30, 9 o'clock, I think we're in the clear. By the time you're checking in with Topper at 11 o'clock, the rain and storms are out of here. It will still be very mild and muggy. And then we are in for another hot and humid day tomorrow. Thankfully, not as hot as today. We do have a heat advisory in effect for parts of our region, mostly along and just to the east of I-95. That's for heat index values up to 106 degrees. Now, a lot of folks not actually going to make it up to that heat advisory criteria. Keep in mind, the National Weather Service are the ones who put out these advisories, watches, and warnings. And we just don't think we get that hot today. We're still seeing feels like temperatures in the triple digits, but not above 106 degrees. Criteria for a heat advisory is 105 degrees to 109 degrees. We are staying, for the most part, just below that. Current temperatures right now, though, still plenty warm. We're sitting at 95 degrees in Leesburg, 94 in D.C. and Manassas. 96 is the current temperature down into Waldorf. And it's really off into the eastern shore where dew points are a little bit higher that we're really seeing some significant feels like temperatures. Right now, dew point in 75. That is just about as sticky as it gets. It's a day where you step outside and you can feel the humidity. It just feels like a day where we might see some summer-like thunderstorms. Dew points across the rest of the region in the low 70s. And anytime you get dew points in the 70s, your body can't cool itself off as readily. That's why the heat index is such a big factor when it comes to these hot and humid days, because when we get hot, our body tries to sweat, but when there's more moisture in the atmosphere, it doesn't evaporate as readily, and it's that evaporation process that actually cools our body temperature down. So that's why it's feeling like to the body like 102 degrees right now in DC. Feels like 105 in Leesburg. 101 degrees is what it feels like in Manassas, feeling like 102 in Andrews. But you head over to Cambridge, where we just talked about that higher humidity, it feels like 110 degrees. And that's why the heat advisory is in effect, really, for our friends out in the Eastern Shore, where those feels like temperatures are above 105 degrees. Let's talk about the storm threat for tomorrow, though, because it's not going to be as hot. It will still be just as humid, but temperatures will be about 5 degrees cooler than today, and that will once again help fuel some thunderstorms as we head throughout the day tomorrow. Very similar to today, no issues for the morning commute. The first half of the day is relatively quiet, partly sunny skies, really sticky as you step outside, and really mild with temperatures in the 70s and 80s to start climbing back into the low 90s throughout the afternoon. And then here we are around 3 o'clock. Maybe you're getting ready to head home early on a Friday afternoon when we'll be watching some scattered storms, some of which could be strong and possibly severe throughout the afternoon and evening tomorrow. I do think they'll be more widespread than what we have going on today. Storms today are fairly scattered in nature, but tomorrow I do think they'll be more numerous, especially as we get towards rush hour. This is 6 o'clock. We'll be tracking some storms moving through parts of the Metro DC area, and the storm chance also sticks around a little bit longer tomorrow. Keep in mind, tomorrow's storms, because of a cold front, they have something actually activating them, whereas today they're just kind of popping up given the amount of instability in the atmosphere. This is right around 7:30, 8 p.m. Still tracking storms. It's really not until after about 10 o'clock when we start to clear out the storm chances tomorrow. So if you do have outdoor plans for your Friday night, maybe you're heading up to a rooftop, you need to keep an eye on the WUSA 9 app, because we will be seeing these storms continuing during the evening hours. And of course, keep in mind, anytime storms become severe, if you have the app, you get the alert sent right to your phone. Once we get past 11 p.m. or so, storms will clear out, and then big surprise, we rinse and repeat for the weekend. We are really stuck in a very summer-like pattern with heat, humidity, and resulting storm chances. Saturday, I do think we'll see some scattered storms develop throughout the afternoon and evening. Sunday right now is looking like the better day this weekend. Still a few isolated storms in the forecast, especially in the evening hours. And then as we look ahead towards Monday and Tuesday, only a very low but mentionable chance for some storms. So here's a look at the 7-day forecast. We do have that weather watch alert in effect for tomorrow, in addition to today. Today for the heat and the storms, tomorrow just for the storms that will develop throughout the afternoon and evening. The weekend, it is still going to be hot, forecasting 90 degrees on Saturday. If we stay in the upper 80s, we would break our current heat wave. Hitting temperatures in the 90s today officially made it a heat wave, and it looks to continue all the way into next week. 94 degrees on Sunday, and it does look pretty nice on Sunday. Lots of sunshine, only a low risk for an isolated storm. Would not cancel any weekend plans over the storm chances either day. Most of the day will be dry, and as the storms roll through, they should be a little bit quicker than the storms that we're tracking today. And then Monday, 96 degrees. It is going to be hot and humid, and that gives us only a really low risk for an isolated storm both Monday and Tuesday. And then as we look ahead towards the middle part of next week, we finally catch a little relief. It's still going to be hot with temperatures in the upper 80s both Wednesday and Thursday, but we will still see some storms in the forecast for Wednesday. They're ahead of a cold front once again, and behind that cold front, we will finally catch a break from some of the humidity. So we'll take one more look at radar, see what's going on in terms of these storms. The severe thunderstorm warning up in Allegheny County has been discontinued, but look off towards parts of West Virginia. You can see these storms really starting to boom as they push off to the north and east. So we'll be keeping a really close eye on storms as they develop this afternoon. For the most part, we're just talking about locally heavy rain, briefly gusty wind, but there is a low risk for strong and severe storms, so we'll keep you posted as these storms do become stronger.